There are no more Hemi engines. So is the new Ram 1500 the best V6 truck to ever be made? Well, that obviously depends on a lot of things. The platform, power output, towing, and off-road capability all matter to making a good truck, and that is what Ram delivered. But they didn't stop there. There is more to this truck than just sheer power and capability. Although that's why a lot of people choose Ram over the competition, they did more than just that on the new model. And here is what it looks like. Performance. There will be no more V8s under the hood, just two engine options with three different outputs. First up, the base 3.6-litre V6 with the e-torque system. Then there's the 3-litre inline-six twin-turbo, available in two outputs. The basic one delivers 420 horsepower and 469 pound-feet of torque, while the high-output version packs a punch with 540 horsepower and 512 pound-feet of torque. All these engines are paired with 8-speed automatic transmissions, and these numbers definitely outshine the old Hemi, although both don't sound like the Hemi did. It is clear that the new models come with a lot of changes, and one of the major challenges with luxury trucks nowadays is that as you add more fancy features, payload capacity tends to decrease. But this Ram 1500 can tow up to 11,580 pounds and has a payload maximum of 2,300 pounds according to Ram. But that is just the base model. With the high-output engine, this thing can tow a whopping 22,740 pounds, making it a true workhorse. And the good thing about these new engines is that they're made from lightweight materials, which means better fuel efficiency without sacrificing performance. The high-output Hurricane has a top speed of 140 miles an hour and the capability to go from 0 to 60 in just 4.5 seconds. And even the standard Hurricane is faster and better than even the most powerful V8 option on the old models. Which means that although the 2025 Ram 1500 has shed its V8 legacy for the powerful and efficient 3-litre Hurricane engine, its off-road spirit remains strong. And we're not saying this just because of the engine. Every model has its own features that make this plan of making the 1500 truck an off-road beast a reality. And all of the trims available boast standard 4-wheel drive and traction control, while optional packages enhance ground clearance, suspension, and protection for tougher trails. The Rebel trim stands out the most with a 1-inch lift, aggressive tires, and best-in-class approach and departure angles, while the TRX unleashes 702 horsepower and conquers extreme terrain with its advanced technology and monster truck-like stance. Lockers, specialized tires, and winches further boost capability, making the Ram 1500 ready for any adventure, from mild dirt tracks to the most demanding off-road challenges. If you think about it, it really is not a surprise. Ram has been making this truck for a long time now, and they've built a legacy that is untouched. They're not going to simply let that go. They'll capitalize on it for even more years. The only thing that could be a surprise to most of you watching is that the 1500 truck is going to focus on providing a more luxurious feel and depth. Now, you might say that's not a big deal, and more companies have done the same, but there are two things that make this model different. Let's start with the first one: design. Now, there are some changes made to the design of this new beast, but the overall concept is the same. That is one of the first things that makes this truck different. However, of course, whether it is good or not depends on your preference, but I have to say that it has been their main selling point, and it has worked for them all this time, and there must be a reason for it. And personally, this is what I like about this truck. It has character, especially when compared to other brand flagship trucks. They all want to be the ones that look the most mean and the most aggressive, but only a few come close to the 1500. But what Ram did with the new models was actually keep that same concept, but incorporate it with luxury, especially in the interior and on the upper trims. This is something that we should admire, because if something's not broken, why fix it? And let's be honest, this model looks amazing. I mean, just look at the Tungsten, their new top-of-the-line luxury trim. They just took things to a different level on this one, packed with features that'll blow your socks off. There is a 10.25-inch passenger touchscreen, which means the passenger next to you gets their own private navigation, restaurant finder, and more. Then there's the massive 14-inch center screen for the driver, plus a fully digital instrument cluster. But it's not just about the tech. The Tungsten boasts a top-notch Klipsch sound system, 24-way power seats with headrests that adjust in 4 directions, and so much more. This thing is just impressive. There's nothing else to say. It's loaded with tech, comfort, and style, making it a real head-turner and a passenger pleaser. But, of course, different trims have different features. For instance, the Rebel boasts off-road tires and skid plates, making it a warrior ready for anything. The Laramie, meanwhile, shines with chrome accents and unique wheels, making it a bit more sophisticated. But if you go for the Sport, it means that you're getting all the body color things like the bumper and the mirror caps. And then the Night Edition means the black grille up there, the black badges, and of course the blackout wheels. Overall, the new Ram 1500 strikes a balance between power, efficiency, and technology, and this is the second thing that Ram offers better than anyone else. A wider range of options than ever before appeals to both casual truck owners and serious off-road enthusiasts, all while maintaining a focus on modern technology and luxury features. But this thing has also caused Ram to lose in some departments. Their own differentiating factor has led them to face some issues, and if they don't fix them, they will lose to their competition. And if we're being honest, there is already one contender worthy, if not the one to kill this truck's legacy, even before it reaches the dealership lots. Let me explain. Ram versus every truck. Now, we have to be honest. No one can deny that what Ram is doing to stand out is quite impressive, but it has also brought some criticism. And we're not talking about the personal issues that fans have been talking about since its launch. No, these are minor things. I mean, the fact that the new model doesn't come with that iconic and amazing sound of the old Hemi is a small issue. Will you really decide not to buy this truck because of it? Not really, right? So what are we talking about? Well, let me ask you this. Are you not tired of all these new trucks full of so many new features that break all the time, and features that no one knows how to really fix? And the crazy thing is, supposedly, they are the coolest ones ever of all of them. Ask yourselves, do we really need a second screen for the passenger? Don't get me wrong, it is very cool, and I want to try this truck for a test drive myself. But do we care about these things as much as the companies want us to? Plus, this technology overload brings a number of problems, not to mention the price increase this truck comes with. It can range from $42,000 for the starting price of the Tradesman to $90,000 if you want to go all out for a tricked-out Tungsten. These higher trims, like Laramie and Tungsten, are loaded with fancy stuff. Plush seats, tech toys, and a beefy engine, but each one adds a hefty chunk to the price tag. I mean, it is more than double the starting price, but we have to praise them for the fact that they are offering so many options. If you don't want the fancy things, then you could go for the base trim. This way, Ram gives you and me, the customers, the best of both worlds. But some have already made a key criticism of this strategy, and that is exactly what we're worried about too. You see, usually when a company does this, they deliberately make the base models with things that feel like they are way inferior to the high trim qualities, which is a normal thing. But they sometimes go overboard, and this makes the base models feel less capable and less appealing, to the point where it feels like you're just throwing your money away just for the hype of the brand and the cool new features advertised. The only way we can know if this happens to them is to only let this model go through the test of time. But there is more. Making this many different versions often creates a production logistical nightmare. Companies often make unreliable and less durable trucks when they're put under this much stress. That is why we've been saying that they might lose customers to their rivals, because let's be honest, when it comes to doing this effectively and without any issues, Toyota is far from superior, and both the Tundra and the 1500 have the same appeal, so most people might just go for the less sophisticated one. And that is why companies like Nissan have just opted for a simpler model that just makes things a lot more simple, and they can easily make a reliable and high-quality trucks without losing the feelings of what make Nissan trucks truly unique. This is the approach they look for in the new Frontier, and Ram could learn a lesson from them. But if you want to know more about that, check out our channel. we've already made a video on it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you there.